When a system is at equilibrium and the conditions that affect the equilibrium position are changed, the rates of the forward and reverse reactions may be affected. So what Le Chatelier's principle says that if a change is imposed upon a system at equilibrium, system means reaction, and what are changes? Temperature, pressure, or concentration. The system, the reaction adjusts itself in such a way so as undo the effect of the imposed change. The system, the reaction does not like change. If you bring a change, system wants to get rid of it. So let's see what kind of changes you can do. The first thing is we're going to discuss the concentration. And I can take this example. Hydrogen gas combines with nitrogen gas to make ammonia. So in this reaction, let's say if I increase the concentration of a reactant, means the reaction is taking place, reaction is in equilibrium, it's in a container, and what I added a little bit more hydrogen. If I added a little bit of reactant, then my reactant is a stressor, is stressing the reaction, and the system wants to get rid of it. And how will it get rid of it? The reaction will move to the right, means the product will start forming. Product will start forming. If I will remove the reactant, then the system wants to make it. That means your reaction is moving to the left and is going to start making reactant. The same thing, product. Let's say if I remove the product, now what does system want to do? It wants to make it. So the reaction will shift to the right. The reaction will shift to the right. That means it will make more product. If I will remove this, I removed it. And now what if I add product? Means I'm increasing the concentration of ammonia. Then system wants to get rid of it. And how will it get rid of it? The reaction will start moving in this direction on the left side, so that ammonia can be broken down to produce hydrogen and nitrogen. So more reactant is formed. So that is the effect of concentration. Now, effect of temperature. To study the effect of the temperature, the important thing is that you need to know whether your reaction is exothermic or endothermic. So, and that information will be provided to you in the question. For example, look at this reaction. Carbon monoxide reacts with hydrogen gas to make alcohol, and the heat is released in this reaction. And how do I know heat is released? Because my delta H value is negative. That means this is an exothermic reaction. So to study the effect of the temperature, this information will be provided to you. So here's the thing. So if your reaction is exothermic, for exothermic reaction, you can do two things. If you increase the temperature, then your reaction shifts to the left, because this is my heat is on the left side. If you are increasing this, then the reaction will move to the left. For exothermic, if you decrease to the temperature, your reaction will move to the right side, means making more product. Endo, of course, is going to be opposite. Increasing temperature, decreasing temperature. You're increasing temperature, it is going to move to the right, means you're making more product. If you are decreasing the temperature, it will move to the left, means you're making more reactant. That is the effect of temperature. Now the effect of pressure. Now for pressure, what you need to know, only the gases can exert pressure, solids and liquids cannot. Now I'm going to erase a little bit here to have some space. Let's get rid of the concentration here. Okay, so the pressure. Going back to the same reaction, hydrogen gas combines with nitrogen gas to make ammonia. Make sure your equation is balanced, and you can study the effect of pressure only on the gaseous molecules. And then what you do, you calculate delta N, which is the number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. You have 2 moles on the product side, you have 3 plus 1, 4. Delta N is -2. So that means if your delta N value is less than 0, which what's going to happen, then your reaction will move to the side that has more number of moles, gaseous moles, and in this case it is left. If delta N comes out greater than 0, your reaction will move to the side that has less number of moles of gaseous moles, and that means in this case it will be right. So for this particular reaction, if you will increase the pressure, so let me again, if you increase the pressure, what will happen? Your equilibrium will move to the side that has so if you increase the pressure, the reaction will move towards the side where you have less moles. If you decrease the pressure, the reaction will move to the side where there are more moles. So now for this given reaction, if I increase the pressure, the equilibrium will shift to the side that has less number of moles, which is going to be right side. And if I decrease the pressure, the reaction will shift to the left, because on the left side you have more number of moles. Now pressure and volume effects, they are opposite. By increasing the pressure, what happens, that's the same effect by decreasing the volume. Remember your Boyle's law, where what he says, volume of a gas is inversely proportional to the pressure. To study the effect of the volume, you can study the effect of the pressure, but you take the opposite of it. Catalyst, now this catalyst this is not the part of the Chatellier's principle, but what we are saying with catalyst is it increases the effect of rate of both forward and reverse reaction. By adding the catalyst, what you can do, that you can achieve the equilibrium faster, But the equilibrium composition means the concentration of different reagents at equilibrium, that you cannot change that. You can just make the reaction go faster or even slower. So for example, let's say if you have, this is your reactant and this is, let's say, your product, and without a catalyst, let's say this is the reaction, call that as uncatalyzed reaction. And then in the presence of catalyst, the reaction can go like this. So what is basically happening? You are just lowering down the activation energy, and that's the way catalysts work. Catalysts lower down the activation energy so that the equilibrium can be achieved faster even at lower temperatures.